Okay, so now that we've talked about what CallMyDoc is and what it can do, I'm going to give you another aspect of it because we have an app that runs on your desktop or runs on your Android or your iPhone or your iPad. And it can also be used to manage all these phone calls. As a matter of fact, it can call patients back on its own if you wanted to. So let me call that number. Now, this number is just organized in a certain way to illustrate various things that we could do. I'm going to show you exactly how this works if you needed to have the app call the patient back and tell them different things.
Press 1 for English. Nipah, please choose one of the following. Press, you have reached the Athena Health Test Office. We cannot take your call right now, but your call is important to us. If this is a medical emergency, please call 911 and go to the nearest emergency room. Otherwise, please listen to the following options. If you would like to be a new patient of our practice, or would like to leave us a general message, press 1. For established patients or calling on behalf of an established patient, press 2. Please enter the patient's date of birth by using your keypad to enter 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 4 digits for the year. You have entered September 18th, 1963. If this is the correct date of birth, please wait while we look up the medical chart for the patient. If you are calling about a routine matter, such as a prescription refill, referral, or have some other non-urgent request, press 1.
So I'm going to press 1.
Press 1 if you have a question about your billing statement. Press 2 if you are calling for a prescription refill. Press 3 if you have a question about your lab results or some other non-urgent clinical.
And press 3 about lab results.
If we need to call you back, would you like us to return your call to 310-402-5573? If this is correct, press 1. If this, please say the patient's first and last name. When done, press any key. Then you will be asked for more information.
Earl Silva.
Now, please leave a detailed message with any information that would help us expedite this call. Also, if your call is regarding testing or results, please specify which test. Please speak slowly and clearly. Once you are done with your message, please hang up and the office will return your call as soon as possible.
Yes, I was calling to find out if the lab results from my blood draw from last week came in. So this is just another example, but this time we're going to deal with this through the app.
This office will review your message and contact you on 310-402-5573.
There it is. Okay, so here's how the app works. All these calls are connected to the dashboard. So not only is this on your dashboard, not only is it in a patient case, but it's also, you could see it from your app. Now, doing it this way, you don't necessarily even have to touch the patient cases in Athena Health. Because if I click on this, first thing it shows you is that who's calling and what are they calling about. So you could screen your calls because our app doesn't just throw a live call into your lap. You get a heads up, okay, who's this person? What are they calling about? As a matter of fact, if there was a bunch of calls here on this particular dashboard, they'd all be listed here. As a matter of fact, you can also decide which calls you want to see from which dashboard and what types of calls. Like if I only want to see billing calls, I only want to see refill requests, I only want to see certain types of calls, that's what's going to show up on my app. So again, when I click on it, this is who's calling, what they're calling about. I forgot one thing. You see how there's a gold arrow right here? Okay, I'm going to show you something that happens. That means it's a fresh call and no one's done anything to it yet. So again, I click here. Now, if I felt like it, I could click on the patient's chart and look at 3 most recent lab results, 3 most recent visits, allergies, etc. But I don't have to do that. I click on demographics. Okay, what's going on here? Then I can click on respond. Now, there's 2 choices here. And just to give you an example, let's say that somebody called in and they said, I have a billing question, but they pushed the refill request line, okay? If I wanted to, I could push this to somebody else's desktop with that forward to another app user, or I could push it to an Android, or I could push it to an iPhone, etc. However, if I'm going to work on it myself, I click on Take Session. Now, the reason why, there's more than one reason why. First of all, the reason is because it documents everything that happens between closed session and take session. And it also will takes everything that's about to happen. When the patient heard the message, a bunch of other information. Here's the other thing, too. I took the session. So in other words, if somebody else has this app on their iPhone or Android or desktop or whatever, obviously only one person can be taking care of this at once. That way you don't trip on people. So it tells you who's currently working on it. Now, if I want to call this person back, I hit that phone icon, and the three numbers below are the other numbers that are on their chart. The top number is the one they want to get called back on because you remember I said you just never know, right? Now, here's what's going to happen. When I click on that top number, it's going to call my cell phone first, and then it's going to call the patient and create a real-time conference bridge as part of the documentation about what's going on. Here it comes.
You win her caller.
So now I'm hearing music on hold, and my patient phone is ringing, and this would ring with the caller ID of your practice.
This is the Cedar House Post Office calling back.
And we're connected. So in my profile on this app, as I just showed you, if I put my own cell phone number in here, that's what it's going to use to create the real-time conference bridge. But here's the thing, right? Because you can screen your calls and because not every call requires you to call the patient back. For instance, this person here was calling about the lab results. Okay, so if I click on respond, add responses, all the stuff the app can do on its own, call the patient, etc., etc., and I don't necessarily have to call anybody back. And so I can handle 5, 10, 15, 20 more calls than I ever could before because I could pick the ones where I have to call the person back live and the ones where I can do what I'm about to do. So let's just say that I want to tell the patient something. All right, I click on Save Response. So when I hit Close Session, it's going to call the patient and tell them that. I'm going to click on it again. Now, all of these are presets, and all of these are customizable. So I'll just pick one from here. Now, this little note at the bottom does not go back to the patient. This is to take notes about the call, what happened, if I talked to them on the phone, etc., etc. And I'm just putting in, whatever, something here, because I'll show you where all this stuff winds up. So now I'm going to hit Close Session. And now the app's going to call the patient back like this. Hello?
Press any key to hear the message now. If this is a voicemail system, we will call you. Hello, this is the Cedar Health Test Office returning your call. A patient at this phone number contacted us. We are calling back now with your answer. If you are the patient or a HIPAA authorized individual, press 1. Athena Health Test Office has the following information for you. You can repeat this information at any time by pressing 1. Please listen to the entire message. This message has 2 parts. Part 1. Yes, your lab results came in. Please let us know when we can book you a time to see the doctor. Part 2. Please go to the patient portal to view your results. Thank you. Press 1 to repeat this information. Press 2 to confirm you have heard this. Do you wish to start a new session with the office for another issue? Press 1 for yes. Press 2. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
So, this just took care of everything. And the way it's going to look from the Athena Health side is I can go to that patient case specifically. The only difference is because we use the app to deal with it, it has additional information down here. And so let's just say, I don't know, I take care of the patient, I schedule it, whatever. again, that's going to automatically archive it from here. And at the same time, I could be also moving on to the next call that I have to deal with from the app.